Stop trashing yourself. I mean it right now. I love me some glitter, and now you can make your poop glittery, plus your guilty pleasures.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a Tuesday. It is March 3rd, 2020, day 172 of Gotta Get On Ellen. Oh, my goodness. The crusade continues. Getting right into the news this morning. Amazon selling a bracelet that shocks you if you eat too much junk food. I believe I've talked about this before. It seems to be really taking off. It's about $200, and you wear it around your wrist, much like you would, one of the health-related wristband type things. And the purpose of it is to try and break some bad habits. It is going to send you a nice little shock whenever you are doing something that you shouldn't be doing. So I'm imagining you have to program it in such a way as to, because it does give you a little bit of leeway in the fact that it says, once you start to eat too much junk food, then you will get a shock. Or if you start to spend too much money, some of the examples they have used for what this can be used for is spending too much money, eating junk food, quitting bad habits like smoking. They say it's designed to give a shock when you're overeating or overspending or trying to break any bad habit. The theory is that the painful shock will soon be associated with that bad behavior, and you will never, or you will no longer want to do it. I don't know. They kind of compare the shock to what happens when you walk across a carpet with your socks on and then go to turn on a light switch. Speaking of which, Joe has a massive, massive problem with that. And I don't really seem to have the same sort of problem. And I think we just discovered why it is so much worse for him than it is for me. Because he wears socks around the house. I do not wear socks. I am barefoot all the time. Except this time of year when I'm wearing slippers. And they have a different type of bottom than socks do. I know that it sometimes still happens to him when I believe he still has his shoes on. But yeah, he really gets a zap. I mean, and he'll yell. He's like, what? Why does this always happen to me? And take off the socks, babe. Take off the socks. His feet are cold all the time. Poor baby's always got cold feet. So I guess that's part of the problem, babe. I don't know what to tell you. I even hit the light switch for him the other day. He was like a little, he was like a little hesitant. He's like, I don't know if I want to turn on the light. So it's kind of equated to that type of shock, which, I don't get it nearly as bad as he does. I mean, every once in a while I do, but man, it really freaks him out. I don't know if I want to hurt myself. Sounds a little weird. Sounds a little masochistic, right? I don't know. It's up to you. And then to boot, you get to pay $200 to do it to yourself. I'm going to hold off. If you guys would like to test it out, feel free to let me know how it is working for you. Moving on to the other bit of information. I know that my sister is rolling her eyes as I speak. You can now make your poop glittery. That's right. They have glitter poop pills so that you can, after you go, have a bowl full of glitter. I read the article about this, and I mean, they are just going on about how horrible this would be for your intestines. I mean, glitter's pretty abrasive, and to put it inside your body to come out in that form, Amazon's got nothing with their bracelet. That is going to be some pain. Another thing I'm gonna hold off on. I will attempt to post the picture of the advertisement for these glitter poop pills. I do like saying that though. Glitter poop pills. Glitter poop pills. Kind of like with the Skull Crusher challenge. People will do anything. People are stupid. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I'm moving and shaking, and I'm moving along today because you know what? Girl is hungry this morning. I am starving for some reason. I always wonder why certain days I'm hungrier than other days. Does it have to do with the time of the month? Does it have to do with the activity that I did the day before? Does it have to do with how much I ate the day before? I'm not really sure, but I have never eaten breakfast by this point in the morning. I always do my research first. I do my gratitude journal, go through my planner for the day, find some cool news stories for you guys. If I have not already written my blog, I will write my blog, which I did, in fact, do this morning. So, and then I do the podcast. And then I kind of start the rest of my day with a little breakfast. Starving today. Just absolutely starving. Not really sure why, but got to get me some food in this belly. So today's topic is, it was announced yesterday that Judge Judy is retiring next year. What show is your guilty pleasure? Love me some Judge Judy. Talked about this yesterday. My favorite, though, was The People's Court. Love, love, love The People's Court. Love Judge Marilyn Milian. I think she is on par with Judge Judy. She can be very mean. Very mean. But Veronica Ann agreed with me. People's Court. No talk of them retiring. And they won't, they won't retire that show anyway. I don't think they'll just get another judge. But she's been doing it a really long time. Some other choices. Michelle says The Bachelor. I know. And then smacks herself upside the head. I'm not crazy about The Bachelor. I don't really even like the message that it sends. Let's get 25 women together to fight over one man. I don't know if that's the right message to be sending to the women of tomorrow. Just my opinion, though. Lauren says, Heart of Dixie. I had started to get into that show, and I don't really consider that a guilty pleasure. It's just kind of a cool show. But I didn't really give it much of a chance, but it seems like a show that I would enjoy. I just started watching a show called Katie Keene. It's with Mandy Hale, or Lucy Hale, sorry. Mandy Hale is the inspirational guru. But Lucy Hale, she's the eyebrow girl. She had co-hosted the Ball Drop with Ryan Seacrest this year, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that girl with her creepy eyebrows. Yeah, what I think is, because she's on this show and her eyebrows do not stand out nearly as much. I think that she's used to doing her makeup or getting her makeup done for a certain camera. And when the cameras go live, it gives a little bit of a different picture. And I think that she didn't really take that into consideration. That's what I'm going to say. But this show, Katie Keene, it's a little bit like a newer version of Sex and the City. A bunch of youngins just graduating from college, sharing a room in New York City. Well, 3 of them are sharing a room. Another one is homeless right now. But it's, I'm digging it. It's my kind of show. Other responses from you. Marcy, Family Feud. It's mindless and sometimes dumb, but Steve Harvey makes me laugh. I'm actually surprised to hear Marcy say that because I had to stop watching Family Feud because I just can't take all. It's just smut to me at this point. I mean, the comments that are made, I don't know. I'm a bit of a prude, and I just think that he goes too far, or the families go too far in some of the things that they say. In fact, even the answers that they give on the board, I think are smutty. I think they're classless. I think that it's in bad taste. We used to watch Family Feud every night, and it just made me angry. Just don't like it. Linda says, I love Judge Judy, but I wouldn't consider her a guilty pleasure. I will give that title to Dance Moms or 90 Day Fiancé. My sister was a huge Dance Moms fan for a while, I believe. I have never seen 90 Day Fiancé, but I have heard about it. I'm sure that I would not be a fan because it seems like it's much along the lines of The Bachelor. Jim says, well, it was Judge Judy. Let's have a moment in silence for the end of Judge Judy. Not until next May. When my daughter Olivia was little, I would always laugh at the TV and say, that's one funny judge. She grew up thinking that was the name of the show. He says, I'm going to be a basket case when Dr. Phil retires. He loves his Dr. Phil, Jim does. And I got to tell you, I don't get it. You couldn't find a bigger Dr. Phil fan than me, but he's just gone off the deep end, in my opinion. He's just really gone too far. He does these, let's follow a family for a year, and I just don't find him to be helpful anymore. I find him to be a little bit condescending, and I haven't watched him in a really, really long time, but I really, really loved him in the beginning with him and his no-nonsense way of telling it like it is. If you're not happy, it's your fault. If you're not successful, it's your fault. If you don't have a good job, that's your fault. You know why? Because he's right. He is right. But no, not a fan anymore. I wish I could get me some Oprah back. That would be awesome. Did you hear that Oprah is going to be releasing her old shows in podcast form? And she's going to be releasing like 10 at a time. So it's not like she's going to release all 25 years worth of shows. And you're going to be like, oh my God, where do I even start? They are going to pick out some of the best. I'm not sure what kind of order they're going in, but I believe it's going to be like 10 at a time. And I think it's going to be really cool. Something I'm going to really, I've got a long line of podcasts that I listen to and I barely get to them. So I got to figure out, I got to niche out a time to spend just listening to some podcasts. I do listen to my own every day. I do listen back to the show after I have done recorded and uploading it every day just to kind of critique myself, see what I need to improve on, see what I think is working well. And, honestly, I'm pretty entertaining. I really do crack myself up. So on to today's blog post. Not doing a very good job with eliminating the so today, but I'm trying. Stop trashing yourself. I put up a quote today from Sigmund Freud. Words have a magical power. They can bring the greatest happiness or the deepest despair. Your words hold such power in them. They really do. Whether you are saying them to someone else or to yourself. We all know that words alone can make you feel like crap. We all have had a time when someone has said something really hurtful and it crushed us. We took it to heart. We believed it. And it may have even shaped your path in the future. Sometimes we need to hear things we don't want to hear, but in a non-critical way. In a way that will be helpful and put us on a better path. Not a worse one. Be careful whose words you choose to believe. Not everyone has your best interest in mind. What I really want to focus on, though, is how you talk to yourself. Often we talk so harshly to ourselves, we don't even realize it. And if we do, we don't realize the damage we're doing. I'm a big proponent of never calling yourself bad names, but I still struggle with this from time to time. when there is a time, I do